There we go. All right. Looks like we have people logging in. We're going to wait just a minute. While you guys are logging in, go ahead and answer our initial poll. We'll have 2 polls today. This is our first one, and we'll have another one right before Environmental Stone speaks. So we're going to give it just another 30 seconds here. All right.
It won't let me vote. I want to vote.
Me
The
too,
panelists
Wendy.
don't get to vote.
I am currently using Emser Tile. They're superior in every way.
All righty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get us started here today. I'm so excited. We have Webinar Wednesday back. We took the summer off. Everybody was taking vacations and trying to work and balance life. So we took a little break ourselves and we're back to Webinar Wednesdays again. We are kicking off Webinar Wednesdays this time with Emser Tile and Environmental Stone. We're so excited to have them here today. We are recording this session, so we will have it available on our website. So if you missed anything and wanted to go back and revisit it, you can visit it later today or tomorrow, or share it with your other colleagues. So we encourage you to do that. Today, a couple of housekeeping items. Down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a Q&A bubble and a chat bubble. If you have questions during our presentations today, you can ask them in the Q&A bubble. We will do a quick Q&A between sessions, and then I will go ahead and ask the questions to our presenter, and then they'll go ahead and answer them for you. If you have any issues with Zoom or having some technical difficulties, you can communicate directly with me through the chat bubble. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We have about 14 people logged in today. So I'm going to pass this over to Wendy with Emser Tile. They have been with us for a very long time. We're so happy to have them as members of Builder Partnerships. They've been with us at the IBS show. We shared a booth. We had them share our booth with us for a while when we had various members in the booth. So we're really excited to have her. She's got great energy today. So if you are sleepy at all, no longer be sleepy, because Wendy will wake you up.
Wake up!
We are, well, I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Wendy. I'm going to turn off my camera and I'll be back at the end of her presentation. Take it away, Wendy.
Thank you very much. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to actually turn my camera off too, so you can pay attention to the screen instead of my face. I'm Wendy Williams. I'm the Vice President of Sales with Emser Tile, and I run the builder division for our company, so I'm pretty excited to talk to you all today. Thank you, Emma Jane and Chuck, for having us. I promise Eric and I will be giving you some amazing presentations today. Let's start with just the agenda here for my presentation. I'm just going to talk about the company a little bit. We're going to talk about trends today. I'm going to grab a couple trends. We have a director of design and trend on staff now, so I stole a couple slides from her. So I'm just going to talk about a couple trends, both in the design piece of it and what we're seeing going forward, and a couple color trends, two that actually surprised me quite a bit. We also have added LVP to our lineup, so I just want to go through that really quickly and then just wrap it up with the outdoor piece that will really tie into Eric's presentation right after mine. So let's jump in. So Emser is a family-owned and run company. We're about 53 years old now, so over the 50-year mark. I've been with the company for 30 years. I just celebrated my 30th anniversary, and by that first screen, you saw that I'm much younger than I appear. They pulled me out of kindergarten and said, "Come work for Emser." So it's been great. It's been a great growth and experience with the company. Besides new home construction, which is our largest side of the business, we also have commercial, and we also do retail piece for anybody that's doing, mom and pops kind of doing their own home, what have you. They can run through our showrooms that way. We are the largest privately held tile company in the country, so we're pretty excited about that. Our business really is, though, focused on new home construction. That's what we've started with. That is our heart and soul of the business. That's how product gets developed and how we run with how we treat customers and what we do. Our portfolio of product is ever expanding, but our heart and soul again is ceramic, it's tile and stone. That's what our basic of the company is. We also do a lot of decor product, and now, like I said, we do LVP. We also have all the ancillary products that you need. So setting materials, grouts, thin sets, things like that. We're a full service, one-stop company. So when your tile contractors come in to pick product up for a home, they can actually pick up everything they need to do the installation. We want to make it as easy as possible. So our footprint, we're a little shy of 80 showroom locations. We actually believe in the brick and mortar location, and that's because of, again, the full service piece. So every one of those blue dots on the screen indicates a showroom and a warehouse with full staff. So we have full sales staff, full operational staff. They have local stock there. The four big E's kind of hugging the coast around the United States is, those are our distribution points. So they carry all 4,000 SKUs that we carry as a company in those distribution points, and then they feed the branches. So it's a hub and spoke method. We have about 900 employees, which is pretty impressive. We run a little lean, but you know, that's what we're known for, is working very hard. And our motto as a company is do whatever it takes. And we mean that from both employees and our customer base. So we will do whatever it takes to make sure that the home closes on time and that the products are what you need. So a couple trends that I want to talk about. Again, our director of design, Suzanne Zerflew, did a really beautiful color presentation and a color catalog that we have called Trends and Opportunities. And I stole, like I said, a couple things that she would be happy with if she was doing this call. And what we've been seeing is kind of typical movements away from things like 12 by 24s and even getting into larger formats. The trend really is moving towards larger floor tiles, and that means both backsplashes, floors, what have you. And what you're seeing, the reason behind that is people want less grout. It's that simple. They want less grout. So you're seeing sizes like 16 by 47 and 10 by 30s and back to square tiles and 32 by 32s, and moving away from those kind of gray colors into warmer tones. One thing that never changes and actually seems to be even more popular than ever is really this marble effects look. And what you're noticing is that, or what happened actually after the last downturn that we were in, that massive one in 2007, is that natural stone was a major product for new home construction prior to that. After that, obviously, things moved to a lot lesser price point price point wise, and people wanted a little bit easier maintenance combined with technology moving up in better looks and better choices. So now marble effects tiles actually make up a large portion of what we see as far as new home construction and, you know, secondary baths, master baths, all of those kind of use areas. And you can see just by this picture how many marble products we carry. It really does give it a more refined farmhousey kind of look with that Park View series at the top. Again, just to show you a couple different sizes, 12 by 24, which we'll always have, irrespective of people not choosing it as much on floors. We're still using it a lot on shower walls, and 23 by 23 and 24 by 24s and large squares like that. But you'll see some heavy duty marble looks like Parkview. Comes in a polished and a matte finish. It's absolutely beautiful. My joke on that one is that marble ate marble and then threw up marble, because it is all about marbleized looks. Kudos down at the bottom. It's so beautiful. It surprised me how many designers liked it, because it has quite a bit of range to it. But it looks almost like, you know, that sand in the bottle that you get when you're at one of those places on the beach. That kind of reminds me of that, or a sunset. Again, we're seeing a lot of polished and matte products. And you'll notice the two bottom products here. Those are both large format 16 by 47 wall tiles. So you're seeing this use primarily in shower surrounds, because showers are getting so much bigger than they used to. A couple other products to touch on: Pienza and Vara, both a little bit different variations of a marbleized. Pienza almost lives a little bit on the stone side as well. And Vara is a very crisp white background with beautiful marble veins. And any of these products that we're carrying and that we're showing have multiple sizes. We really believe in offering multiple sizes, and even almost kind of knocking off ourselves at different price points. So we might have something like VAR that's a mid price point, but we have an entry-level price point product that also has the same vibe to it, but may have different color palettes or different selections and sizes. But we really do believe in mastering kind of that multiple sized product. But if you've noticed, you haven't seen anything in small formats. So we are moving away from 12 by 12, 13 by 13 on some products, just because the trend really is, like I said, just moving to those larger format products. So I love that marbleized effect, and by far outsells probably anything we carry as anything marbleized and anything in white. The next trend I want to talk about is modern industrial. And what you're going to see here is a lot of natural materials, neutrals mixed with a lot of texture. So one of those other kind of trend forward products is really anything with a texture to it. And, you know, by looking at this picture, it's a little bit more of a hipster vibe, but think dimensional when you're thinking products like this. So you're looking at products that resemble brick, like reclaimed brick walls that give you kind of a loft look. You have things with texture, and a lot of these products have partners that have a flat or a field tile with it. You can get the kind of vibe, it's almost industrial loft look, a little bit more rugged than our refined product of that kind of marbleized look. A couple of products to look at here is that brick series. And I always tease everybody in Texas. I'm in Texas now, and I think everybody here is going to call this BRIQUE or BRIQUE instead of brick. There is a new color we did add to this. It's a charcoal color, but this is absolutely beautiful. It's a 2 by 10. And the cool part about this is it can be used on the walls, but it can also be used on the floor. So it's a porcelain tile that can be herringbone or brick joint or what have you. It's just an absolutely stunning textured reclaimed brick look for a product. And down here, this is a pretty interesting thing. So building blocks is a series of products that we carry within our line. So we just call it BB for short. But building blocks is a joint venture with Gensler. So Gensler is a global architectural firm that went into a joint product development with our design group and came out with some amazing products. They tend to be a little higher end, but they're so unique in their looks. This is an 8 by 47 more modern wood plank look. We're still seeing a lot of wood planks being used. I can't begin to tell you how many we have. I think we might have 12 or 13 series of products that are wood plank vibes, you know, some either contemporary or more traditional. This gives you that kind of wood look. Ikedo in Japanese means smoked or burnt. So this is a burnt wood kind of vibe. It's absolutely stunning, and especially you're starting to see some of these blues pop in. Love this product, absolutely love it. A couple more products to look at that have that kind of modern industrial look. The first one on this page is called Ironworks. And if we just take a look here, it comes in 2 formats. So you're gonna have a 12 by 23 in the plain field tile, and it's got almost like if you can see the picture, it's almost got a little bit of a metallic sheen across it. It's a beautiful glaze. The part that I really dig is this part called the ridge. And ridge is also a 12 by 24, 12 by 23 size. And you can use that on a backsplash. You can use that on a fireplace surround. It can be interior or exterior, because again, it's a porcelain, but it gives you kind of a cool, somebody said it looked like a fence or something in a mechanic shop, but it's got a great texture to it, but very simple and refined. And again, what a great way to have that on a fireplace or a big band of that with the field tile going with it. I absolutely love Ironworks for an option for a more modern look. Pregio here, I joke and say this is Fred Flintstone's wall tile. We just took it down and made it into a 6 by 20. But 6 by 20 comes in the field tile comes in a flat finish and a limestone vibe, and then it's got that textured piece. And where we've been seeing this installed really again is more not so much shower surround, but really fireplace surround. It's got that texture, that rugged kind of vibe, and more consistency than a true natural stone in this case. So you have another porcelain option. And I really love the 6 by 20 floor tile. You can use it as floor or wall because it's a porcelain, but it's got a beautiful way about it, just being very simplified in that limestone feeling. And you can do it in a herringbone pattern or straight set and have 2 different looks accompanying it. I really like it. So 2 color trends that we're seeing, and again, our director of design, she's just amazing with putting color palettes together, trying to coordinate, you know, the colors of the Pantone colors of the year along with the paints that are coming out. They seem to be a little quicker than everything else. So I want to hit a couple color trends. And the first one that I think is absolutely amazing is shades of blue. And I have to admit, it's supposed to generate kind of this calmness or the element of water, but the way that I took it is it felt like vacation. And so I broke down and actually did this in my own home. I did a blue backsplash and I love it. It's almost like a new neutral because blue can go with so many colors. So instead of people sticking with like a basic white background or a backsplash that's white, we're actually starting to see a lot more color be introduced into backsplashes. It's almost the place where you can actually be a little more free with design versus being a little more conservative in other areas of the house. It is a showcase piece, especially, you know, with kitchens being so open now. I love this blue, but think about this in a great backsplash option, or here with the new geometry series. One of our coworkers did this in her shower surround, so it looks like lattice. So it gives it a really amazing dimensional vibe. You have floor up here that's got a very sophisticated look to it. And then you have Diva here, and it's blue and white, very traditional mosaic shape, almost like an arabesque. And then there's that wood plank, that Yakita that we just looked at, that I absolutely love. But love these series, love blue now. I'm a convert to color. I'm not as afraid as I used to be. And I think that's how a lot of home buyers are starting to look at product. This was a surprise to me. And I can't believe how many times I've heard this in the field, is that black is almost like the new beige, right? Where it's very neutral in the sense of what it provides. It's a very simple color of all colors, right, combined. But this gives it a real luxury, a depth of space to the product. It does an amazing job. And where we're seeing this used a lot in this color is secondary baths. So you'll see hexagons. You'll see marbleized product that transition a little bit, like this is called Sterlina. This comes in a polished and a matte feel, and in a 6x12 comes in a hexagon, all these different cool shapes and sizes. And even for people that aren't quite ready for super modern looks, like what black has always meant to me and meant to the field, is that you can have a transitional product, right? You don't have to always have something that's super hardcore industrial or contemporary. You can have a softer transitional product. This is called Sphere, amazing wall tile. This is Mythos, and this is Euphoria here. Just amazing products that can create that secondary bath look. And imagine it just like this picture shows, with, you know, a really modern bronze color or gold fixtures to give it a very, very luxurious space. I love black in secondary baths. I think it's absolutely amazing. We're also starting to see it being used on backsplashes as well. One thing that we're seeing, and I kind of hinted towards that on the last slide, is that square tile was the thing 10 years ago. Everybody used a square tile, that's what it was. Then 12x24 came along and took its place. 12x24 definitely was the road warrior for every house I walked, every model I looked at. And what's been happening now is that we're seeing people move away from just simple 12x24s and moving into shapes. So arabesque shapes, hexagons, trapezoids, anything with texture and shape, small formats, large formats, and as far as backsplash options now. Again, think about using a tile that is rated for floor or wall and having a hexagon on the wall like we're showing in this picture versus just using it on the floor. And this is the Rhythm series. And it comes plain and with a texture like this. So we are starting to see a lot more shapes being used in the field. People aren't afraid anymore. And plus it's a nice breakup for design teams to utilize a shape instead of just the same 12x24 product. So with that, we are launching LVP. This is an SPC stone core product. We felt that as LVP was kind of taking over some of our business, you know, that you would use it through the whole floor on the first floor and then take it into a bathroom, that we were losing some market share. We thought we'd join the group instead of fighting the group. So yes, we're last to bringing this in, but we're very excited about it and how much we're going to develop it. So we have a 12 mil and a 20 mil. The pad's attached, it's an SPC, it's got the Uniclick. snap system to connect the product. It's got some wood grain products that have some distressed looks. And the Oxford series has more modern looks down here in these darker colors that I love. We're going to be adding to this line both in new wood plank products and 12 by 24 stone and marbleized looks to capture those kinds of looks. So MCore is new with us. We had it for a minute a couple of years ago and decided against it. Now we're really committed to it, and the looks have been taking off. We've had good reception, and just wanted to kind of announce that piece of it. The last thing I want to talk about is that, and it kind of goes to what I was talking about earlier in the presentation, that we tend to be a full service company. We want to be able to offer as many things to your buyers, to you as design team or builders that we can possibly think of in our industry. One thing that we have spent a lot of time and effort on is really the outdoor piece of it, exterior tile. And it's funny, I wish we would have had this when I did my pool a couple years ago, but now we're finally getting it, and we have it. So we have other options, but there's pool line tile that we offer, traditional stuff, more modern product. We have 2 centimeter porcelain pavers that you can use exterior, and then obviously natural stone products, and then a couple wood porcelain pavers that you can use as well. But natural stone, definitely the big hit here, and so it hits contemporary, it's modern. So just know that you can carry your interior to your exterior and be able to work with us with those products as well. So we are launching that, and very excited about the outdoor products. And then, to finish, we're really hands-on. For those that know who, and I saw the survey, it looks like we're doing work with a lot of you. You know that we're very hands-on, and all of us get very involved. So if you need anything, here's our contact sheet. I'll attach it and fix that spelling error. I say spelled Emser wrong on one of them. But if you ever need anything from any of us, all of us are readily available depending on what city you're in. And we just thank you for the business that we have. We thank you for being part of Builder Partnerships. We have been a partner with Emma, Jane, and Chuck for quite some time, and we're very, very grateful. I hope that helps a lot. I hope that gives you a little taste of what we're seeing as far as trends go. We do have a catalog that has everything in it that I talked about that I can send electronically, or we can drop it off at your office, whatever you need. And we do have a brand new full breadth, every SKU we carry, big fat catalog, looks like the old Sears catalog. So if you need that, we have that as well. So thank you very much for all the business, and thank you for your support, and thank you for listening to my presentation today. And if you need anything, let me know. Other than that, I will let Eric take over.
Thank you so much, Wendy. That was awesome. And just so you know, everybody will be getting an email tomorrow thanking them for attending the webinar, and they'll have your contact information. Yours and Eric's contact information will come in that webinar or that email tomorrow as a follow-up. Right now, we don't have any questions. If you do have questions, please feel free to add those to the Q&A bubble down at the bottom of your screen. So you can do that now, or I'll reserve the end to do a little bit of Q&A. So if you think of more questions as we're going through, we can do that at the end. What I'll do now is I'll have Eric go ahead and put up his presentation. I'm going to put up one more poll here for you guys. And here we go. As he's getting his presentation set up, we can go ahead and have you guys answer that. I'll leave it up there for just a couple of minutes and let Eric introduce himself. Once he's done introducing himself, I'll share the results of the poll so that you can see them, and then I'll take them down and let you finish up your presentation. But again, Environmental Stoneworks has been with Builder Partnerships for a very long time. They're actually here in Colorado. I see them on the way to the airport. We were discussing that you can see their sign right there on the I-70. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Eric and let you finish up our webinar today.
Well, thank you, Emma Jane, and thank you to Wendy as well. I thought that was a great presentation. I mean, I just personally love Emser Tile products, and a lot of the people are some of the finest in the industry. So if you don't have the pleasure of working with them, I highly encourage you to check them out. But to Emma Jane's point, as you know, we've been in part of Builder Partnerships since 2006. In fact, it was the first kind of program that I put together for our business after I joined the business. So the name that everybody really knows us as is Environmental Stoneworks, but my presentation is going to be slightly different than Wendy's, where I'm not going to focus as heavily on the products themselves. And I'm going to talk to you about kind of what this recent evolution and some of the changes are within our business. So not to kind of pull a fast one on Emma Jane or Chuck or Terry or any of our fine folks that we work with at Builder Partnerships, but rather than kind of focusing in on Environmental Stoneworks at the start, I felt that it was important for us to kind of go through and give you a look at, bear with me, there we go, really kind of where our business is evolving. And we are now Cornerstone Building Brands Stone Solutions business. So I welcome you all, as, you know, I mean, to talk about this just kind of openly. Obviously, the world is changing and there's a lot of M&A going on. We're not immune to that, and we're very heavily involved, and we got swallowed up a couple of years ago. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that as I kind of outline like the history of our business. But for the past 15 years, we've been members with Shin and Builder Partnerships, and we're proud to introduce our new company to you, known as Cornerstone. What Cornerstone is, though, is it's really just a new name of two very old businesses. So, you know, names that you might be familiar with in the industry are NCI Building Systems, which was more on the commercial side and in the metals business. And then there was the Plygem residential side, which had things like windows, siding, gutters, fence and rail, and products like that. But in August of 2018, we combined these two premier building product manufacturing companies by bringing them together to provide a full solution for the exterior skins of both segments of the world. Now, in coming together and then kind of really through input gained from employee, customer, and end user interviews, people that use our products, we renamed to Cornerstone because we really do believe that this highlights our contributions to the communities where we're operating. You know, we're providing our industry-leading brands, products, and services across the nation. And really, it just sits and it kind of emphasizes that we are a platform for future growth as we put two big companies together with the goals of growing from there. I'm just happy as a stone guy that we got stone in the name somehow. And, you know, I'm pleased that we are a part of this bigger entity. As I mentioned, kind of our overall purpose is that, you know, our building solutions really provide the cornerstone to the communities that we're serving. As we've seen design trends evolve in the last 20 years, stone is now being located everywhere. I mean, we beautify the neighborhood or the community through these exterior solutions. We're focused on the cladding materials, and stone is really a foundation of this and is a growing category, as I've mentioned, where you see it not just on residential, but on commercial properties as well. We've spent the last 2 years integrating all of these businesses as well and really crafting out what our future identity is going to be. So I'm pleased to say that within our comprehensive product portfolio, it's not just stone that you can think of nowadays when you think of Cornerstone. There is the US Windows division that hosts a number of different brands, primary to what most people know us as is Plygem, but American Craftsman windows are in there. We did just complete 2 acquisitions of Prime Windows and Cascade Windows in that portfolio. And so they've got a very nice and robust offering in the windows. In the siding category, we're really doing some innovative things, and I'm going to just touch briefly on it. I'm not the subject matter expert by any means, but it's vinyl siding, and they've actually just launched a new product to compete against Hardie on the siding product, and it's a very beautiful, innovative technology that we've employed to get there. So we've got some neat new things coming through their business as well. We do still have the metals business in our portfolio, although you may have heard very recently that we spun off our insulated metal panel division and our roll-up garage door panel business. But within our metal portfolio, we still do metal roofs, a lot of metal components and gutters and things of that nature. So definitely products that are employable within the residential space. Siding also has a fence and rail division, which is an up and coming segment of our business. But it also just addresses the exteriors of a home and different options that you might have for a vinyl fence. And then lastly is stone. And I only put that last because it's me, but stone is a growing part of our overall portfolio. And I'll speak about the overall numbers as well in just a minute. But we have an expansive national footprint, as Wendy called up her map, and I'll show you a map briefly in a moment as well. But we have over 80 manufacturing locations in these communities where we're serving and operating. We are now coast to coast. One of the biggest things that we've come in terms of culture of our business is that we want to be a customer-focused operation. So really geared towards service and relationship is the two primary factors of every decision making that we do. Within our business, though, we're heavily committed to innovation and R&D, so it's not just looking at today, but looking towards tomorrow. We have an insight center at our Raleigh, North Carolina headquarters, where we're doing testing, and it's just a phenomenal location where we're practicing what we preach, and it's a lab, and we can do studies of our products and performance based engineering to make sure that the products that we're delivering to the industry are industry leading and continue to keep us in that position. We're well positioned for growth. I just mentioned where we spun off a couple of companies. That was to just generate cash and put it into our ability to continue to grow through mergers and acquisition, and continue to invest in new products and new opportunities to bring to market. We have a very strong balance sheet. We have very strong capacity and availability of our products nationwide. We have some of the finest people, and our leadership is renowned. And in fact, we have a new leader that just joined our business as our CEO of our company on Tuesday. Rose Lee is her name, and she came through some very high-end organizations within the building product manufacturing world. And she's really coming into our business to take us to the next chapter. We've spent the last few years working heavily on integration, and now we're going to get into more of a growth mode strategy, and she's going to help us champion that. We do that through the continued investment and the improved financials and the focus that we put into that area. We are well positioned, though, for the next 40, 50 years in our industry. In the residential space, we are North America's leader with the #1 in windows manufacturing, the #1 vinyl siding and accessories manufacturer, as well as the #1 in metal accessories. And as you can see tucked there by the front door, there's also stone veneer in our portfolio. In residential space, we really do offer products that are preferred and serve to enhance the exterior elevation of every home and every unit that you build. One thing I just wanted to kind of mention on this slide, just since we're looking at a home, the Residential Remodeler, Pro Remodeler magazine does a brand use and a study use of various products and remodeling projects, and gauges their ROI. Traditionally and historically over the last few years, stone veneer as a category has either led or been in the #2 position for the ROI that you achieve in utilizing our products. It's really phenomenal, but homeowners can recoup as much as 90% or more of their investment to put stone veneer on a building. I say that at this point because I think that also, where we're talking about new construction, highlights, I think, the value that home buyers feel when they're building or buying a home that is stone veneer. It just classes up the joint, if you will. And I say that because that's exactly the situation I was in 16 years ago when I was buying my house. You know, my wife cared where the bedrooms were and the bathrooms and the laundry rooms and what the kitchen layout was. I cared about the exterior, and my home was built in an area that has a masonry requirement of an 8-foot or 50% of the exterior. So I've got an 8-foot wrap all around my house. I'm just a general track build. But when you look at me versus one across the street that didn't have that same municipal requirement, it just looks like a higher ended home, as I'm sure many of you can imagine. But it fits today's build. I mean, You know, we've got a lot of things going on in our industry of labor shortages and masons that are retiring and the kids aren't replacing their business. So we've got options because we are simply attached to the wall. Now, as I mentioned, us coming together as a cornerstone business, you know, the commercial space, you know, we are #1 in insulated metal panels. Now, as I told you, we just sold that division off, so I'll have to change this slide slightly. But we are also #1 in metal roofing and wall systems as well. And once again, you can see stone veneer on this commercial structure. Usage is actually increasing on commercial nationwide, as we've seen, because really all building types look to blend into their environment and bring that warmth and really that feeling of home, even to an industry, whether that be a retail or a restaurant or a medical facility. It's that bridge between home and business and the office. And it's really, as I said, kind of all where we live, work, and play. But as you noticed on those last 2 slides, I mean, it was kind of interesting. Stone was the one product that was in both of those residential and commercial spaces. It really is the perfect bridge or complement for any material. We see it utilized with stone, with stucco, with siding, and it really just becomes that complementary texture and look and color that isn't as homogeneous as some of the stucco colors or siding colors are. So it allows for the freedom to play with different directions or pull in, kind of to Wendy's point in her presentation, the hot trends and styles, whether it be a Pantone blue and you want to find something because you want to complement the blue siding that maybe is predominant on the exterior. For any material, really, we've got a solution, and we've got really many pieces to the puzzle in the build in our Stone brand portfolio that give solutions to you, the builder, that are more than just products. So what I want to stop and just kind of highlight to you right at the moment is, you know, before I really kind of go through our brands and really where our business sits in the industry today, I thought that it was important to share this product slide and to also highlight to you that stone itself is really become a commodity item. I mean, there is really no difference between how we make our products and who the major competitors that we have that are stone producers, how they make theirs. The ingredients are basically the same. We all test to a standard in the ASTM industry, and we all meet that standard. So our testing based upon maybe nuances in our production methods is there. But as far as colors and shapes and profiles, I mean, we have anything that the industry has really used over the last 40 years since this product category started grabbing on in the marketplace. I think, you know, also the only thing I would just kind of highlight on this is that one of the things that we're doing as a part of this integration strategy is we are looking at all of our SKUs today. Traditionally, and for 15 years, I've told about our business that we're make to order, that you, the builder, place your order, then we'll make the stone because we've got plenty of lead time to get that product out to job site. But with today's supply chain crunches, we realize that we can't be everything to anybody anymore, and we need to be a little bit more focused in on our core business. So we're going through a SKU reduction process right now where we're bringing down and consolidating a lot of these kind of misnomer products that have just kind of evolved through the years and may have gotten away from what our core color competency was. We're doing that in an effort to also supply the market with inventory. So if we reduce our numbers of SKUs and then go about putting the products that we are making on the shelf, it's going to shorten the lead times and be able to be a little bit more reactive and you know, get the products to your job site just in time for the installations to occur. That's been a big boon to our business. Now, all while we're doing that, we're still living and breathing the Cornerstone philosophy of innovation and design. So we're keeping tabs with what is going on, and we're providing solutions for what's going on in the overall design world. We do this because we work direct with the builders. So we hear your voice directly of what you're communicating to us about what your homeowners are preferring or what you as your design teams are preferring in terms of the colors and the things that are popular. I totally agree with Wendy in that there's kind of a dynamic shift going on in the industry where, a lot of the modern and cleaner contemporary lines that the builders are asking for is also evolving into larger formatted pieces. So we are getting into the panel business like Emser, where we've got larger formatted 12 by 24s, big longer pieces, like some that go as long as 18 inches with a 2-inch height to get a nice clean stacked look as well. We've also followed the design trends over the last few years, mainly along the southern smile of the country, but to go lighter in our trends of colors. Those whites and creams are very heavily preferred in today's world. But we are seeing a shift going darker into darker grays and blacks, and we've got some answers for that. Traditionally in our world, the darks, the grays, the blacks all hugged the Canadian border, and the whites all hugged the southern Mexican border. And we see that is blending, and the blacks are coming down and the whites are going up as we homogenize our color palettes for the nation. But we're offering things that have a nice play for the interior and exterior of the home. And we're getting very clear on our brand strategy. So I want to take you real quick, and I'm going to focus more on the Environmental StoneWorks brand, but I want you to know that we have different solutions for the market and the different buying channels that people, bring products to their projects. Environmental StoneWorks remains our true total turnkey solution. We are direct to builder. We offer labor in our package, not just a pretty product. Through my history, I've seen countless examples of beautiful products that have been installed poorly. And concurrently, I've seen bad products that are installed beautifully. We take the ownership of that. And I'll talk to you mostly as we transition this presentation to talk about that business. But I want to make sure that you also know that in our portfolio, we've got 3 other primary brands to market. We've got Plygem and Canyon Stone, which is sold through traditional supply chain dealers and distributors. It is a beautiful product, but it answers more of kind of the traditional masonry and the traditional supply chain to get that product to your homes. We also have a neat product that was developed internally a few years ago called Clipstone. And it's actually mechanically fastened to the wall as opposed to a traditional masonry system where it's lick and stick, if you will. Clipstone screws into the wall and has really become a nice answer for the retail segment and do-it-yourself. A lot of remodelers are using that as an upsell against siding as well. And it gives you some nice options to present for all of your builds. But as I mentioned, I wanted to really focus who you know the best, which is Environmental StoneWorks. Environmental StoneWorks is the only national manufacturer and installer of stone veneer. So there's one point of responsibility from start to finish. That really is our only one advantage. I mean, by being experts in masonry and construction, we take that throughout our entire portfolio. So we bring things that we learn on the install side to product development on the Plygem side. Or in this situation where we see where labor is becoming a large issue in our industry, that we provided a different solution through our Clipstone. Our brand is entirely builder focused as Environmental StoneWorks. Now, I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on this. I just wanted to show you kind of the brief overview of who we are and kind of how we got to where we are today. The business was founded in Denver, Colorado in '78. So for over 40 years, we've been active in the manufactured stone veneer category. But quite innovatively, all the way back to its inception, we've been installing, largely because the founders of our business couldn't find that support from the masons. So they said, screw it, we'll just go out and hire a bunch of people ourselves and start putting it up ourselves. In the early 2000s, our little cool business model that was really just Denver-based was bought by a private equity firm that said, I'm taking this thing nationally. So the subsequent 20 years, we opened up facilities, we acquired stone plants and manufacturing locations, we greenfielded into new markets, all really with the intent of what happened in that early February of 2019 timeframe, where we were acquired by Cornerstone. We built our business up, made it attractive to sell to a national partner. And Cornerstone really was interested in our installation model. That might portend some future opportunity for other businesses of siding and windows to get into installation. And so they're watching and learning a lot about our business and how we deal and work with the builders, because it really is a game changer given today's world. Shortly after our acquisition, we have actually continued to acquire stone companies into our portfolio as well. So we added a masonry business in early 19, and then in early 20, we added another masonry business. And then just this year, we closed on a stone production facility down in Texas. So today our broad map gives us 8 manufacturing plants, over 30 installation hubs that are dedicated to the stone business. And we feel that we are located now within 500 miles of nearly every major MSA. We have expansion still to come in California, still in Texas to go, a little bit in the South Carolina market, as well as areas and pinpointed areas like Chicago. Those are the areas where we've got builders asking us to be. There are additional markets like Tennessee, Idaho, Reno, Albuquerque, where you're going to find us as we grow. And if you have opportunity, please come to us today, because that might accelerate that move into those areas. But we focus on the installation across the country because we have over 60 million square feet of annual production capacity across all of those 8 plants. Just to give you an idea of our scale of who we are, we install over 50,000 projects every year. If you add our stone only sales to that, we're probably approaching 75,000 projects that we touch with our products every year. We have over 1,200 employees, and we're continuing to grow. The 1,200 employees, to Wendy's point, we are a lean, mean machine. So that encompasses field personnel in that, plant personnel in that, as well as professional staff. All in all, though, we're backed by a $5 billion industry leader of Cornerstone, and we're giving our builders really that peace of mind that we're installing confidence and trust in everything we do. We believe that this turnkey business model just is not only unique, but it delivers more to you and more value to you as the builder. We have a single supply chain. You have one person to call at any time for needs, questions, bidding, contracting, or construction. We have a team of experts. We hire salespeople and project managers. So we're holding your hand, not just in the design and selection process, but throughout the build and the warranty part. We are the labor partner. We own our labor. So again, it's not just buying a pretty product and hoping that that vision comes to life. We are enacting and enabling the vision to be realized. I haven't here hired Jim. I mean, he's not just our best employee, but Jim just demonstrates the expertise and the experience that we have working direct with the builders. We created a proprietary project management platform that guides everything we do and gives full visibility throughout our entire operation. When you have the ability to have a project manager on a job site change a date right there on his phone, or enter in a note or include a picture, and that can be seen all the way back to order entry or production, it just streamlines our ability to serve. And as I kind of mentioned a little bit through the Cornerstone, as well as a legacy value of our business, is really a culture of safety and service. We understand that we're walking with you. It's your name on houses, not ours. And we want to be that vendor partner of yours that stands behind you and gives you a good name as well. From start to finish, though, for over 40 years, our systems and our processes have been built to support the scheduling, the performance, backing your warranty periods and things of that nature to properly support all aspects of your build. In our Builder Partnerships program, we offer you this turnkey expertise We also give you just the ability to connect directly with the manufacturer and an installation company. So if you have technical questions, if you want to know how to, if you want value engineering, those are things that we're well experienced in and can assist all along the way. There is a volume rebate, there's a model discount, and there's also material only options. So if you don't choose to select our turnkey, or you're in a service area that goes beyond our general core, we have product availability to include into this portfolio and into your program as well. At the end of the day, we really want to deliver solutions and value for your business. So I thank you for your time. I mean, my contact information, as Emma Jane referenced, will be sent out to everybody. If you have any questions, as I've kind of overviewed the Cornerstone business as a whole, as well as kind of targeted into really what I feel is the biggest value to the builder, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I mean, I'm not a subject matter expert in siding or windows, but I know people are, and I can connect you to them as well if it's something that might be interesting to you. So thank you all for your time today. You're on mute, Emma.
Thank you. Minor details as the moderator of the webinars. Thank you so much, Eric. Glad to have you here today with us today. That was a great presentation. I am going to share the results so that everybody can see the results of your poll real quickly while I close this down. We had a question come through from Evan, and it looks like Wendy answered it on the chat, but I'm going to go ahead and have you answer it live real quick. Evan wanted to know if it costs more to install large format tiles.
And generally, yes, the labor does tend to go up when you're doing very large products. One comment I made in the chat box is that 12 by 24 used to be a big size to installers, and now it's commonplace. And I think it's just an evolution of changing and technology changing the ability for installers to install larger products. But generally in production home building, max is about 32 by 32 size wise, and any length in a wood plank look would be about 36 inches. But most of those products tend to be higher priced as opposed to a 12 by 12 or 12 by 24. So they're in a higher group level in general, but the pricing shouldn't be extraordinarily, like it should be $1 or $2 more a square foot kind of thing. It shouldn't be triple the price kind of experience, at least from what I've seen.
Great, thank you so much. We have just a few people left on the webinar right now. So if you guys want to ask questions live, I'm happy to, you can raise your hand and I'm happy to let you speak and we can have a little bit of conversation about those questions. Oh, we've got somebody with it. Tani, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to talk. Go ahead and take yourself off mute and go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Wendy. It's Tani. I am in Houston. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. What are you seeing as far as your trend changing from coast to coast and then to us in Texas, who are historical, the last ones to figure it out?
Actually, the Northeast is the last to figure it out, to be honest. It was stunning to me when they're still using a beige tile, which is now coming back into fashion. So they just had to wait us out. We're seeing a movement away from grays, light gray colors, to warmer tones, taupes, kind of that black again that we've seen, but much more warmer colors coming back into fashion everywhere. And as far as, like I mentioned, as far as size goes, large is in charge. Yeah. Although we have a ton of new decorative mosaic products, we're seeing a lot of requests for larger format products anywhere. And I think that's the only thing we can combat. Kind of customers complain about tile in the sense that, not that it doesn't last forever, it's the grout is the issue. So as grout has gotten better and as tile size has gotten bigger, I think we're combating that negativity towards tile and trying to keep our business intact and keep out LVP, even though we sell it. Our primary focus is tile and stone.
I know I need to ask Scott about that.
Yes.
And then the other question I have is supply and demand. How
Yes.
are you all holding as far as, in particular, your typical builder grade tiles supply wise?
Well, we just made a pretty historic change out from one country of origin where we were making entry-level price point products to Mexico, which is much closer to, especially to you, since it's down the street. So we're beefing up those stock levels with a closer factory production to our distribution point. So as far as entry-level price points, we're beefing up stock quite a bit.
Perfect. I appreciate your time.
Good talking to you. Big
You
hug.
too. I know.
Do we have any other questions today? That was great conversation. Thank you so much, Tawny.
Sure.
All right. Well, it looks like we have no more questions today. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Eric. It was a pleasure having you today. It was a great way to kick off our webinar Wednesday again with two great presenters and great energy. So I appreciate you guys being here with us today. Thank you for your partnership with us and Builder Partnerships, and we look forward to spending more time with you guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at other webinars Wednesday. Yep, see you at IBS.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
You too.